Hey guys, today we're driving a 2017 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS convertible. I'm here with Chris, substitute TheTopher, and Charlie from the DailyMotor, and we've done a bunch of Camaro videos this year. I've wanted to drive a convertible manual for quite a while. Charlie has actually been kind of low-key shopping these, and this one's for sale at Gene Butman Ford, available for sale from our good friend Stu. We'll put his information in the contact box if Charlie doesn't go ahead and buy this.
This is a perfect dad car for me. When the time comes, car seat, wife, dad, life is good.
I like how his mind goes to Camaro for dad car.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
No, it works. Q, the Chaotic, he has 2 child seats in the back of his Camaro ZL1.
There you go.
I mean, and the convertible, look at all this visibility.
You can set the car seat right in.
Yeah. All right, let's walk around this real quick and then we'll take it for a drive. So first, some specs. 455 horsepower from a 6.2 liter V8, 6-speed manual transmission, just shy of 4,000 pounds. Not that bad for a convertible, actually. I thought this would be heavier. We have 20-inch wheels. This one has about 23,000 miles on it. Seems to be bone stock exhaust, all that stuff.
50th anniversary. Can't remember if you mentioned that.
That's right. Yep. What were these new? About 55 grand.
This
in
one seems
2SS
to be pretty
form.
fully loaded. 2SS, got the heated, cooled seats, Bose radio. Yeah, this was probably pushing 55. It still probably would be for a similar spec option. And I think this is the best looking version of this Camaro. I think they've gotten uglier with time.
The 2017s were, well, 2018 was the last year before they ruined the front end in 2019, and that was a 1-year only front end, and they kind of fixed it after 2020, but you're right, this is the best looking Camaro. Yeah, let's take a look under the hood at this 6.2 liter V8. What was this, 16 in the city, 24 on the highway? 25 on the highway, all right. Cool, 5W30 oil, 455 horsepower, 450 pound-feet of torque. The owner, strangely enough, hasn't reset the trip odometer in their entire ownership, and they've averaged 19.1 miles to the gallon over the last 23,000 miles. That's pretty cool. We have hood struts. Don't have to put a prop rod up in there. A little bit of cooling right here, which is cool. Looks like an engine bay that's never really been opened or touched except for oil changes.
Yeah.
Looks good. It's refreshing to see one of these bone stock. I mean, this might be a really good way to go. No pressure, Charlie.
Clean. I would remove the stripes.
Definitely.
I like this blue color, but it would look a little more pure and innocent about the taped on stripes.
Yeah. No, this is clean. This is nice. Trunk space, pretty limited, especially in the convertible. We have one of the smallest trunk openings in the business. It is pretty deep though. You could get a few bags of groceries in here. And then of course, with the top up, it goes all the way back. So you actually get a decent amount of trunk space with the top up, but that's not what today is about. Today is about top-down driving. One of the last good days of summer.
The tires are filled with nitrogen.
Oh, that's exciting.
Whatever that means.
It's worth
Nice.
a few $100 right there.
Just like a Formula One car.
Okay.
Back seats. Charlie, you want to go ahead and hop on the back?
Sure.
We'll give you guys a live demo. How tall are you, Charlie?
5'10".
5'10".
Proper.
About average male height.
Convertible makes this a usable rear seat.
That's great.
I would be hunched in the coupe.
And I'm 5'10", so this is 5'10" behind 5'10".
Yep.
Yeah. Plenty of headroom.
Headroom's good. Wind is a lot when we're driving, but hey, you're in a convertible. You're enjoying it. You're experiencing the outdoors.
Yeah. All right, Chris, let's take this for a drive. This 2SS model is fully loaded. We get heated and ventilated seats. In 2017, we get Apple CarPlay, which is great, and probably Android Auto too. We have 2 memory seat settings, a Bose premium sound system, head-up display. I mean, this is kind of all the Camaro that you really need. Leather seats. It's very nice.
Peak Camaro. There's a degree of stadium seating back here as well, I should point out.
You are sitting very high.
I have a nice vantage point. It does mean I look right into the cross member there, but I'm above you guys, which is kind of nice.
Oh yeah, you do have a good view.
Yeah.
All the wind just getting sucked into your mouth.
Yeah. He's acting as our windscreen today. You know, usually they put a little piece of netting.
Hold my hands.
We have Charlie.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a comfortable place to be. It's nice leather. Kind of, even though it's a little bit of an older car at this point, you got everything you'd want for a weekend cruise.
Kind of a strange infotainment angle to the display.
Do you think they did that to reduce glare?
I think so. Paddles behind the steering wheel. That enables and disables rev matching. We're going to leave that off at first, and then we'll play with it a little bit with it on. 6-speed manual, feels like a Camaro 6-speed. Just notchy enough. Kind of a nice sharp throw.
Sounds so good.
It sounds great. This is a great powertrain. They're not blisteringly fast like the ZL1s, but they rev out beautifully. They sound nice. We have a few different drive modes: Tour, Sport, Track, and Snow and Ice. And the exhaust is valved. So we can kind of get the best of both worlds. These 2017 Camaros had a little bit more of a low-key exhaust back then than they do now. There's almost an excessive amount of popping and burbling in the new Camaros these days. This is just nice and clean. Head-up display is great. You can see your speed, your revs, speed limit, music, navigation. You can adjust the height of it, and there's physical buttons over here for all of this. And you can even see it with sunglasses on, which is super useful. Something that BMW has never seemed to be able to figure out. Of course, the best thing about having a convertible Camaro is that you can hear that 6.2 liter V8 soundtrack in the open air. I know you're loving it.
This is my first Camaro experience.
Oh my gosh, you've never been in a Camaro before?
Not really.
Jeez.
No. This is like...
I guess we haven't had a press car in years.
Yeah, this is the first Camaro I've ridden in, first Camaro I've driven. Like,
a little bit of a clutch delay valve there, limiting our hard shifts.
Yeah.
I'm used to the ZL1 and the SS1LE where you can just bang gears, no lift shift.
Yeah.
Not quite the same thing here in the standard SS. However, this is still really good to drive. I mean, you still get 95% of the driving experience that you would in a more track-oriented Camaro, but better fuel economy. The roof can come off. Personally, I'd kind of be a little bit torn between the convertible SS like this or an SS1LE, just because, I don't know, how many track days are you really doing in your Camaro versus how many evenings are you going to take it out and enjoy it with the top down? Into sport mode here. Some wonky pavement surfaces, so we'll take it easy. Pulls great. The power is so linear. All right, rev match is on. Works pretty well. One of the better active rev match systems that I've experienced. Charlie, how's the wind back there?
How's the wind?
A little noisy.
The wind. Oh, he says it's a little noisy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gathered that from his shouting.
But I am enjoying it.
Good. It's good. We never have to put a mic on Charlie.
he just yells.
Yeah.
Ooh, some Z4 action.
Hey.
And not a V-Strom.
That's a Concord. That's
Every-
a 3 liter.
Every bike with a basket on it is
It's just a
V-Strom.
V-Strom.
This is fun. Properly quick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've never felt like you need more than the SS. 450 horse is a really good amount of power for this sort of car. Because you can go full throttle and shift through first, second, maybe third, and you're not doing such illegal speeds. You really get to enjoy the rev range and the sound that it makes.
And the manual is fantastic. I drove a 10-speed automatic one of these, and it was okay, but much better than the 10-speed automatic Mustang, which was just all over the freaking place. But this 6-speed is just perfect. It's really, really fun, really engaging. A lot of control over the gears with rev matching. If you want to turn that on, you can. If you want to do it yourself, it's an easy vehicle to heel toe downshift.
Car feels like it's held up pretty well too.
It's
5
very
years old
nice.
At this point, no rattles, no squeaks.
It's tight.
It's tight for a convertible as well.
Yeah, you're right.
Convertibles rattle around quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point. This doesn't feel that much different from the coupe. There's no scuttle shake or cowl movement. This is a very stiff convertible.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised they've been able to keep the weight down as much as they have too.
4,000.
It's easy to drive smoothly. Charlie, this is a good car.
Yeah.
Bargain a few grand off the asking price, you might have a good deal here. These Camaros have really gone up in value the last year or so, with 2023 marking the demise of the Camaro as we know it. You better get your orders in soon if you want one, because Chevrolet is discontinuing the Camaro next year. They'll release a final edition, and your only options will be used or very marked up. I think this is one of the few other cars I would genuinely consider besides a BRZ as a daily, as a fun sports car, weekend car, daily, track toy. And in convertible form, this is fantastic.
There's a new Nero back there.
Hey.
Response feels pretty aggressive there in sport. We were in track. That's why it felt
we were in track. Okay. Yeah. Tour. Let's see how much Tour calms things down. Yeah, a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
Honestly, all these drive modes feel about the same in this.
Yeah.
Steering feel gets a lot heavier in track. And you can also go in, there is a setting in the car.
Driving mode.
There's also a setting here in the infotainment screen separate from the drive mode selector where you can control steering feel, so you can have it change automatically depending on which mode you're in, or you can just leave the steering feel in Tour, which is the lightest setting all the time. I like that. You can also turn on engine sound management and put that into track all the time. You can hear the difference.
Proper spec.
Here's stealth. Here's track. Pretty big difference. That's nice. And then you can just leave everything else in whatever drive mode you prefer. With throttle response settings, I kind of like Tour because it's the most linear. So we've got loud exhaust, light steering, and then a pretty nice calm throttle in Tour mode. It's great to have that level of control over your setup. And again, just subtle pops and burbles from this 2017. Yeah.
That's a good sound.
That is a good sound. It's such a sonorous V8.
Yes.
And it's not necessarily a car that I feel like I always have to be going flat out in. It's fun, it's satisfying, but it's a nice cruiser too. It's comfortable. The ride is really well controlled. Maybe we can chase down some bumpier pavement up here. Even the brakes feel great, nice and tight. Little reverse camera action back there too. Put the top up, but Charlie is getting a new hairstyle in the back seat.
He is, yeah.
One of the few vehicles that I think also that comes from the factory just about as it should be. There's very little that I would actually want to do to a Camaro SS or a 1LE or a ZL1. Maybe a ZL1 and throw an intake on so you can hear the supercharger. So good. In track mode, the exhaust sounds perfect. I don't know how they tune this exhaust so well. No drone. Sounds great when you get into it. Of course, you can always make these exhausts louder by adding a set of aftermarket headers or doing an axle back system, but it's really not necessary. This is just great.
I'm also extremely comfortable over here. Like
it's a great seat.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, the one strange thing about these seats is they don't recline very much. Are you at max recline right there?
Yeah, this is as far as it goes.
Okay, yeah.
So I can go a little further than you.
You can, yeah. Driver's seat is still a little bit upright, but I'm still very comfortable.
Yeah.
Nice bolstering,
yeah.
Soft seat, good support too.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of the boomer spec Camaro, which is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But they make it a little bit more comfortable. It's not so, you know, crazy bolstered like a ZL1.
I could drive all day in this.
Oh yeah.
Charlie, I think you've got a point on the convertible Camaro. This whole time I've been thinking the SS1LE or the ZL1 might be the ticket, but this convertible is really nice. You have to be honest with how you're going to be using a car like this, and if it's mostly going to be a street car, it makes sense to get the rag top.
Did you hear that? He says the convertible is the best.
Oh,
Camaro.
yes. Yeah.
He agree. Yeah.
I mean, it depends what you're doing with the car, but you know, you're not doing a lot of tracking.
Yes.
Get your visibility and your exhaust sound and your open air experience.
Yep.
And your thousands of miles of headroom.
Much like the LC500, this is convertible is the way to go. You can hear it, and it's very pleasant.
Yeah, it really enhances the experience a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how often I'd actually put the top up in this. I guess we should try it just for the sake of trying it.
We might have to behead Charlie first.
Yeah, let's see how well he fits in the back with the top up.
I can kind of do a lay down.
Yeah. Where is the switch?
Here.
Right there. Go topless. That's it.
Yeah.
Except he had his top up. All right.
Let's see at what speed can you put the top up?
Yeah, these aren't typically the ones that you can go very quick without doing while doing the top.
I don't know which way the button presses too.
Got it.
There we go.
Transformer mode.
Oh, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
It's similar to the coupe.
Reasonably quick operation. Oh, we have extreme window tint.
Yeah.
That's gonna ruin our exposure. That's okay. We will maybe just rock it with the windows down. Oh, and we have the
ID4
there's
style,
two Yeah, there's two window buttons. So there's a button for the rear quarter and then a button for the front window. So you have to press both and if you want to roll everything up.
Much better.
All right, let's see here.
Still sounds quite good.
Sounds great. Yeah. Not a lot of wind noise at speed too. Yeah, this is a relatively thick top too. It's well insulated. And I don't really have any less visibility than I would in the coupe with the convertible.
No.
It's just like a cozy V8 cave. Very comfortable, warm, soft cave.
It's the Bat Cave.
It's the Bat Cave.
That's good. See, people joke about these cars having the rear seats be worthless. And yeah, I wouldn't want to be in here for hours on end. But there is a big difference between being able to at least throw a friend in the back, throw a family member, run down to the store, or give someone a ride home or something like that, and have these seats. And then most of the time when you're not using them, you put your backpack back there or something.
Yeah. They're very useful. And I think you've got way more room back there than I would in my BRZ, for example. How's your seating position? Is it relatively straight and upright?
Yeah, I think it's comparable to the BRZ.
And your head, is it hitting the roof?
Quite.
Yeah,
But it's a soft roof.
Yes, that helps.
Yeah.
If you're following behind us, you can see a slight imprint of
It's a
Charlie's
little
head
bump.
in the top.
A Charlie-shaped bump. Messing up our aerodynamics, Charlie.
Right.
Well, cool. Top marks for the 2017 Chevrolet Camaro 2SS convertible with a 6-speed manual. I think this is one of the best Camaros I've driven.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, in terms of being a sports car, this is kind of as good as it gets. Great transmission, great engine, good amount of power, all your amenities, a reasonable price. You really don't feel like you're sacrificing anything in here opposed to $100,000 BMW. A lot of different cars that are on the market.
Not a lot of wind buffeting at speed too, at least up front. Even with the windows down, it felt pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good convertible. Like that's pretty amazing for the price. One of my favorite convertibles behind the LC500, and that's twice as much.
It is twice as much.
And what a great crescendo to that power as you lean on it from a low rev like that. It pulls stronger and stronger and stronger as you get going. It's just very linear, very nice. Pleasant.
It builds so linearly, you kind of don't realize how fast you're going sometimes.
Yep.
And also just satisfying and nice and pleasant to drive too, because you can drive it so smoothly. You're not always second guessing your clutch engagement or your shifting.
The other thing is the chassis on these cars are so good. GM Performance did such a great job tuning this generation Camaro. You could probably take this convertible on track and it would stay pretty darn composed.
Yeah. No, it feels really tight, really well sorted. I don't think we have adaptive suspension in this car. And it's just one suspension setup works perfectly well for just about everything. We haven't really driven on too many bumpy roads, but from the few dips and undulations we have hit, it feels pretty soft. And it handles well. A little bit of safe understeer, but this is the convertible. If you are doing some track work, you can always throw some negative camber at the front end and probably dial most of that out. Yeah, really impressed by the lack of wind noise. The NVH in here is
so quiet.
It's really quiet. Just hear this fantastic exhaust in the background. Alright, we're gonna roll the windows down so I can see, except these are the wrong windows. We need the front windows.
Looks like you could get magnetic ride control in this year, but this one does not have it, or else we would have set suspension in that drive mode screen that you were on.
Okay. If anything, I kind of like, I wasn't as impressed with the mag ride in the SS1LE. I kind of prefer these standard dampers over what I tested in SS1LE a couple months ago. The ZL1 mag ride is just about perfect, but this is really nice. As a street car, probably all you need. All right, guys, well, that's going to wrap up our video on a 2017 Camaro SS convertible. Thanks for watching. We'll park it next to the BRZ. Thanks again to Stuart King at Gene Butman Ford for hooking us up with this car today. If you need to buy any cars, we'll put his contact info in the description. Good friend of ours, solid guy. We drove his autocross prepped Fiesta ST recently.
That was a fun video.
That was a ride.
That was a lot of fun.
And now he's autocrossing a new 2022 GR86. So we're GR86 BRZ bros, which is kind of cool. Anyway, guys, that's it for this one. We'll see you guys later. Check out DailyMotor with Charlie and Chris. They've got a great YouTube channel going. They just launched a couple more channels featuring sound system tests and fuel economy tests. Are those on there?
Yep.
In a separate channel?
Yep.
Perfect, cool. And then Chris also has his own YouTube channel called TOPHER Drives.
That's right.
One word.
TOPHER Drives, one word.
Cool. All right.
Cool.
Where's the off button? There it is. Pretty graceful egress.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so comparing back seat space to the BRZ, Charlie's gonna get in. How do you feel?
There's more room in general in this back area. The headroom is pretty comparable. I'm kind of hitting in both. But this is more of a flat bench, sit up, kind of generally decent place to be.
You could lean over a little bit, probably a little more roof height.
And that's what I had to do in the Camaro too, was lean over. A little bit less foot room, and my knees are more upright. In the Camaro, I was sitting kind of more like I was in a chair with very little headroom. So it's comparable, but you would think it'd be a lot tighter in the BRZ, but it really isn't.
And you could probably still squeeze a passenger in front of you pretty comfortably. You were sitting behind me at my driving position in the Camaro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This just sits a lot lower. That kind of has stadium seating, so you're sitting in a more upright position.
Well, the cool thing about the Camaro is with the top down, you can just hop back there.
That's why you get the convertible.
Hollywood style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Nice.
Nice.
Chris, I like your shirt today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's dope.
Someone told me I looked like I was Miami Vice or something.
Definitely.
Yeah, is it Ace Ventura?
I don't know.
Whatever the guy is.
The guy who rides crocodiles with both feet.
Yep.
Yep.